4-stroke, 2-stroke pistons. Let's bring you our next guest of the night. This gentleman certainly had himself quite a Friday. Cade Clason, what's up, man? How are you?
Oh, I'm here. Let's get this over with.
He sounds terrible.
He punched you in the throat?
Okay, so I don't know if he meant to punch me in the throat, but we both had helmets on, and, we had both, he ran up to me, pushed me, I pushed him back.
Sounds like jizz.
Yeah.
Yeah. And, I don't know if he meant to or not. It doesn't really matter, either way, but, yeah.
So he said that you were threatening to kill him or something, but you're saying that didn't happen?
No, it didn't happen. We exchanged plenty of other pleasantries, but those words did not come out of my mouth.
And an official saw that, and that's why he was DQ'd, the punch in the throat?
Yeah. So when you came off the track, you went down one side of staging, and then to get back into staging, you went down the other side of this little crawl thing.
Yep.
And I came off the track first second. I came off with Paul Telly, and I gave my bike to my mechanic. He went outside, and I walked back into staging to try and figure out where what semi I was going to be in.
Mm-hmm.
And he was coming off the track, and we were exchanging words over the little corral area.
Yep.
And he just dropped his bike and ran towards me, and I was like, well, that didn't go well. So I may have poked the bear a little bit. I mean, I'm honestly, the off-track stuff, it's whatever to me. I don't even care. It's not that big of a deal. The stuff that happened on the track is more upsetting to me. That's just not racing to me.
Well, until he does some damage to your throat in some way, and you don't get your voice back or something over this jerk off punching you in the throat. So I don't.
Well, my wife said it's kind of sexy. So
okay.
I don't know.
Okay. Well, there we go.
Thanks, Stankdog.
Yeah, listen.
No, it's way better today. I don't know why. We just ate dinner, and now it's actually more raspy than it was. It wasn't bad a little bit ago.
I dove into some comments, and people are like, Cade should have known. So you're supposed to know that you pull a move on a guy that when you lap him, he's gonna just blow you over a berm. I don't get that. I don't get that you should have known.
So I caught him actually on the finish line, and he started going fast again.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, oh man, is he gonna
Oh, okay. So this was already giving you an idea, right?
So I jumped the rhythm section behind him, and then we get to the straightaway, and he pulls off into the mechanics there. I was like, oh, okay, we're good. And then I hear him get on the gas behind me going down the start straight.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, all right, cool. He's behind me, no big deal. And I go into the berm, and then when I'm mid berm, I hear a blip of the freaking 2-stroke, dude.
Yeah.
And sure as shit, a quarter of a second later, I just get blasted in the side. So yeah, I mean, him and I were friends, right? I've never had issues with him before. I didn't think it was anything of substance really that happened in the first turn. I maybe bumped him a little bit, but it's not like I blocked him.
I mean, I don't see the issue. I don't see the issue with your pass in the first corner at all, and neither of these three guys either. And I mean, I don't see it. I put myself in his shoes. I used to race. I don't see how he could be angry about that in an Arenacross. I just don't.
Yeah, I mean, I think back to the Rod Bell thing last year with me and him. I did something like that to him. I couldn't imagine the hate I would get for that. You know what I mean? And
right.
Looking back on those situations, I apologized to Rod Bell for yelling at him after the race. A couple months later, I went up to him hey man, I'm sorry I was so heated after that. You know what I mean? And the same thing kind of happened in this situation. He could have came off the track and yelled at me, pushed me. I would have been I'm sorry man, I didn't mean to bump you off the track like that. And
right.
we would have gotten over it. But yeah, I mean, I was more heated about the stuff on the track than the stuff off the track.
Yeah, I don't.
Guys,
look, and as we said at the beginning of the show, pick your bike up, get yourself in the main event, make some money, and then take Cade out in the main event if you want, if you're racing with him, or get him back at San Diego or whatever. It's just to wait a lap down, whether you're Justin Bogle or Stankdog, is really cheap, really shitty.
Yeah.
That's all.
Well, that's what my biggest problem with it was is after I got cleaned out, I really didn't know if I could make the main. I had to start back row in the heat
Dude.
and in the LCQ. And like
I saw a photo where you were just trapped under the bike. You were just stuck under a bike.
Dude, I was the only one in my semi skimming the whoops, and I freaking clipped a kid's back wheel and went into the tough box and fell. And then I ate shit again. And the next one is the one that really messed me up. I like fell on that little double before the finish line, and I got like the gnarliest Charlie horse on my thigh, and my thigh just like blew up. It was so big, and I could barely walk, and then my voice is gone, and everyone's like, what the heck is wrong with Cade?
Come race Arenacross, they said. Come have a good time, they said.
Speaking of whoops, what hurt worse, getting punched in the throat or Denny's comments about your whoops in the main?
Dude, oh man, Denny's comments in general on Twitter were so outlandish. Oh my gosh, I had to bite my tongue so many times. It was mind blowing. Oh, but I mean, I get it that if they didn't know why I wasn't skimming the whoops in the main, like I totally get it. But yeah, I was honestly in so much pain in the LCQ that I was like, I don't want to do that the whole main event, and I just was like, screw it, I'm just going to commit to jumping these things and trying, because that was the first lap of the first main was the first time I jumped them all day, or besides the last lap of the LCQ, but I just doubled through. Like I had never like even considered doing it until I was like, I kind of have to, and I was good at skimming the whoops too. Like it wasn't like hard for me, but when I can't squeeze my bike, it's a little different.
It's amazing you made the main, and got a third. Good job.
I got second.
Second.
I got second.
So
I need all the help I can get after that shit show.
Yeah, how did that go? Like I didn't watch the main, so I don't. How did it? You had a bad gate pick, but you just what?
I got a bad gate pick, but like, okay. So here's my only complaint. This Arenacross race was actually a lot of fun, but for the mains, there's 12 guys.
Yeah.
They have 8 gates. But for the main, they say, oh, no, we're going to have 6 on the front and 6 on the back, and we're going to not let you use the inside and outside gate. And it's like, okay, so then the outside gate was open. So I started behind the last guy on the outside.
Oh, and just...
And when the gate dropped, I just I didn't go around him, but I got next to him and didn't have to follow him.
Yeah.
And I ended up coming out like fourth.
Right.
So that worked out really good for me. And then I told my mechanic actually before the main, like KP and I were talking, I wasn't going to race. Like I was pretty like dizzy, like my leg hurt really bad. I could literally barely like do a squat. It was so bad. And my mechanic's like, well, just go do some laps and, jump the whoops and, just see where you're at. And if you can make it 10 laps and just try and make it to the end. And I was like, fine, like I'll do it. And it's kind of hard to pull off when you're riding around in second. And that's why, like, in the second main, like, I just had no fight or urgency to even want to go to the front. I was like, I don't even really want to be out here.
Yeah.
And,
what a weekend. Jeez.
But that sucks because, like, I have last gate pick for the first main. I get last pick, right?
Yep.
So then I'm the last spot on the outside. And then I get second in the first main. And then I've got second to last pick for the next freaking main.
Yeah, yeah, I know. KP, not a fan of these inverted gate picks.
No. I'm not a huge fan of it either. I mean, I think it'd be cool, like, every once in a while, like how they used to do it, like you invert each row or you invert, like, half of it or do something like that. But just change it up each weekend. But, yeah, to fully invert it each weekend is kind of chaotic.
Your guys' situation a little different. So KP's main reason he doesn't like it. So at this race, KP and I think Bitterman were the only 2 regular Arenacross guys in it. So it's all dudes that are hitting all the rhythms. KP's main complaint on the reverse is he said on a normal weekend, he said in the reverse at the first lap, the couple worst guys that get put on the front row don't even jump the catapult the first lap and they almost land on.
Right.
KP said he almost killed a dude.
Yeah.
That
makes sense. That makes sense.
Where I think he's almost more okay with it. Like if the field's deep and everybody's doing anything, it's actually less sketchy.
Right. No, that makes total sense.
Hey, Cade, one other thing. Be proud. You were trending on Twitter for a very short time during this whole Arenacross mess.
Dude, I was. When I looked, there was like 50,000 tweets or something that mentioned my name.
So
poor Cade.
So he got DQ'd for punching you, but I think he should have been DQ'd for the taking, like Bogle, waiting a lap down and taking you out. But you're fine with that as far as a DQ.
I mean, I don't.
Not fine with it, but I'm saying like whatever. Yeah.
I would have rather him been DQ'd for the stuff on the track. Like the stuff in the pits. Like, dude, stuff like that happens all the time and nobody sees it. He just got in trouble because we were standing in freaking staging.
Right.
like it is what it is. Like we're just two dudes that kind of just said words to each other and whatever, it escalated. But the AMA didn't see it that way.
Did you think his social media response was correct or fine?
I mean, I'm whatever. Other than him putting words in my mouth, like I didn't say that. So
Well, what did you say? That was my next question. What did you say?
We said a lot of things. I maybe said if you come near me, knock your teeth out, and he said some stuff. But whatever. Like I'm not gonna fight someone in staging at the race. Like it's not gonna happen. Like we can push and shove each other all we want, but I'm not gonna fight someone and risk my career over someone else's stupidity. You know what I mean? Like it is what it is. I probably shouldn't have said what I said, but he said some stuff too. But like he was yelling loud enough. I had my earplugs in and I could still hear him just fine. So everyone else heard him too. But like I said, like the off the track stuff, like it's not that big of a deal to me. Like we were both heated. He was obviously heated. That's why he did it to begin with. I don't think clear-headed anyone's like, yeah, I'm just going to wait a lap and clean somebody out. Like that's never a good idea.
I wonder if the AMA, because this is an AMA Arenacross, the AMA this weekend, I wonder if anything's going to carry over or AMA is going to to Supercross, and AMA is going to be like, hey man,
it should do, shouldn't it?
You wouldn't think.
You don't think the disqualification is enough?
No, but if something happens in Supercross, they're going to be like, hey man, you already have a DQ on your record.
Okay.
Like, I don't know. I just
I think so. They called me and like asked me about it, and I was like, look, like I basically just said the same thing to them that I said to you guys. And they're like, well, this isn't the first time this has happened. This is actually like the third, I guess.
Yeah. I saw one with Alessi. He waited for Alessi for a lap and then fucked with Alessi. Yeah.
And then I had a team manager call me today and say something too. And I was like, look, guys, like, I'm not here trying to like, get this dude kicked out of the sport. Like, am I bummed on the situation? Yeah. But yeah, I mean, I guess they're looking into stuff because but I have like they just called me, right? But I think something could obviously happen, which is a bummer, right? I mean, I think he brings a different. I don't want to say a different kind, but he has a different set of fans that obviously our sport needs. But you can't. There's certain things you can't do, and he did some of those.
Yeah. I think I would agree with that comment. Daniel's on line 3. Daniel, you have a comment about this with Cade?
Yeah, so I'm definitely Team Cade here. I saw that start, and Stankdog, he's raced Arenacross before. He knows to protect the inside. Like that move was 100% legit. He should know better than that, honestly.
Yeah, I feel like from the comments I see on social, everyone's like, that move was nothing. That move was fine by Cade. I mean, maybe some of his hardcore fans don't like it, but yeah, I don't. Yeah,
I feel like the roles were reversed. Go ahead.
I know, and I like Stankdog. Like on social media, I like him, but like that, he should know better. That's all. I
agree. I think if roles were reversed, Stank does the same thing. To Cade.
Yeah. No, absolutely.
Yeah, but Cade didn't do anything.
No,
that's the point.
No.
So if roles were reversed, it doesn't matter because Cade didn't do anything.
Cade's not waiting a lap down to take the T-bone him and take him off.
It's just I have no words. Well, it's just shocking.
Like I said to him when when him and I talked the last time, I said, is this WWE? Are you a character right now? Is this real? Are you real? Or is this a skit? Do I need to like play along? Like, I don't get why you're saying these things. Like, I don't understand.
This says it all. If there was no retaliation, we wouldn't talk about the move once. Because the original move is irrelevant to anything.
No one would bring that up. No one would be like, did you see Cade's move? No one would say anything. Yeah, no, I'm with you. Cade, I'm really looking forward to a bunch of people picking you in Pulp Fantasy this weekend in San Diego and you getting them, 52 points. Really looking forward to that.
Man, I'm sorry, dude.
Really stoked on that. Yeah.
I've been riding quite well, and I think everything came at me kind of fast at A1, dude. So I hit the deck. I've hit the deck a lot in the last 2 weeks. Let's just say that.
Did you pick him? Who picked him here?
I didn't. But what he's saying right now has got me scared to pick him for San Diego. He's been hitting the deck a lot. Maybe I need to see a week or two more.
Right. You're riding well, Cade. You're right. You look like you're riding well, for real.
When he's not crashing, he looks good.
I mean, we've worked pretty hard. Obviously A1 didn't go great. The heat race crash was my own fault, just getting sideways and then trying to save it, and the kid T-boned me, and then all the other crashes were just whatever, dude. It happens. So couldn't really change anything. But
Wisco Pistons bringing you Cade Clason on the show. Yeah, you could change a lot. You could get in the main event for people who pick you. Two-stroke and four-stroke Pistons, Wisco.com, motorsport.com. Go ahead.
I had a quick one for you, Cade. You're back with the same team that you were with 2 years ago. How much has improved? You know, PRMX looks like, at least from the outside in, that they've made quite a few changes and upped their level.
Yeah, I agree.
Dude, they've upped the game a lot. Honestly, it's quite the show over there. We've got a motor guy. Our suspension guy is going to come to, I think, somewhere between 50 and 75% of the rounds. Obviously, I've got a full-time mechanic now, which is so nice. I've never had that before.